Hello, this is Peter Murphy, President and CEO of the Illinois Association of Park Districts. Today, we are presenting another video as part of our Legends video series. One of the missions of IAPD is to recognize outstanding park, forest preserve, and conservation district board members throughout the state of Illinois. I hope the knowledge and insights these great leaders provide will inspire you to continue to make a positive impact at your agency and in your community. Please enjoy.
Hello, I'm Wayne Utterback, Director of Communications and Digital Content for the Illinois Association of Park Districts, and I'm pleased today to be joined by Mundelein Park and Recreation District Commissioner Wally Frasier for our Legends video series. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be here.
Can you give me a little bit more background, a little bit more information about how long you've been with your park district?
I've been with the Mundelein Park District for just under 28 years.
All right, and how would you describe your overall experience with the park district?
The experience with the park district has been exceptional. This has been due to the leadership that the park district has had during this time period. Alex Marks was a director for a very long period of time. Margaret Resnick, who is our current director, took over when Alex retired. They have both done exceptional jobs. They have different styles, but they have both done an exceptional job for the community.
All right, and what was your motivating factor in becoming a commissioner?
I wanted to give back to the community that I was working for as a police officer and living in and raising a family.
All right, and what can you tell me about your park district that makes it special, makes it stand out?
Our park district stands out because of the diversity that we have within the community, both ethnic diversity as well as monetary diversity. And there's a lot of people in town, and they all come together and work for a common goal when it involves the park district.
That's kind of the beauty of park districts, is that it really brings everyone together for one goal, one purpose.
Yes.
You know? So do you get any personal satisfaction out of being able to help assist in that sort of ecosystem that you build?
I don't get a lot of personal, I get a lot of personal satisfaction, but it's not me that's doing it. It's everybody working together, the entire board, the director and their staff, and the community that's working together to make Mundelein Park District what it is today.
And what keeps you engaged and involved today?
I'm engaged and involved because, again, I still enjoy the interaction with the community and the community members, the park district staff. I think that I've got a lot of knowledge that I can bring forth when it's needed, and I just enjoy being a member of Mundelein Park and Recreation District.
Now, obviously, there are lots of challenges that face new commissioners when they step into the role for the first time. What advice would you give to somebody who's maybe new to that position?
I think the first thing they need to do is they need to sit back and watch for a while and try to learn from the seasoned commissioners that are on the board, and talk to the director and find out what the director has in mind. And at that time, it gives them a lot of good background and foundation. The best thing they can do is understand that their authority as a park district commissioner really exists only when they're in a meeting. They set policy. It's up to the director to administer that policy on a day-to-day basis and to run the district. They are not in charge of running the day-to-day district. They shouldn't be telling staff, well, I think this should be done, and I think that's not what their job is. They need to contact their director and talk to their director if they have ideas of what needs to take place.
Now, what philosophy would you suggest for a commissioner? What's a good philosophy you would suggest for them to adopt in order to be successful?
Again, they need to be open-minded. They need to sit back. They need to assess situations, not shoot from the hip, but make informed decisions.
Now, when thinking about how park districts serve communities, do you believe that park districts deliver those services better than a city government could?
I believe they can. The park district, being an independent taxing body, can administer its own funds. They don't have to rely on the overall village tax funds and compete for dollars with police and fire and public works in the village.
Now, during your time as a commissioner, I'm sure you've interacted and worked with many professionals. What are some of the key attributes that you've seen that are possessed by those who are really at the top of their field?
I've had the privilege of working with two different directors. The first one, Alex Marks, and the second one, Margaret Resnick. Both of them have a different style. You really need to take and talk to your director and learn what they have in mind and help them in the direction that they're going. If you've got an idea or you've got some thoughts, contact your director and talk to them and to make suggestions.
Do you feel like that's that's something that a lot of commissioners struggle with, reaching out to the director and working hand in hand with them, or is that something that's second nature?
No, I think that new commissioners struggle a little bit from the standpoint that they feel they've got an agenda and they want to advance that agenda, and they just need to sit back and take it slow and realize that the day-to-day operation of the park district is really the responsibility of the director, and theirs is their responsibility as a policy board.
Now, I know there are lots of challenges that face park districts. What are some major challenges that you've seen recently, and what are some ways that you're working to resolve those?
Some of the big challenges are getting the funds that you need to take and develop projects and to pursue goals within the park district. The tax dollars can only go so far. If you've got community centers, you need to make sure that those are well efficiently run so that they don't take up a lot of the money, that they almost be self-funded.
All right, and what are some opportunities that you've seen in your time with the park district?
The opportunities we've had is by applying for grants to develop property, to purchase property, to get equipment, to build buildings. We've got a golf course, and that we've acquired, and built from scratch. So it's varied.
Now, how do you prepare for those kinds of opportunities, though? Is that a challenge to kind of be in front of those and prepared for any time one of those might pop up?
The best way to prepare for them is to do your homework. If you think you want to take and build a fitness center, construct a golf course, find out, one, if there's a need, two, if there's people in the community that will support you, and then you need to go out and you can apply for grants and see where it goes.
All right, now I want to shift a little bit more to talk about IAPD and your involvement with it. What are some of the benefits of a commissioner getting involved with IAPD?
I think getting involved with IAPD gives the commissioner a lot of good background from the standpoint that they work with experienced staff in the field, both directors, their staff, and other commissioners. Sitting back and listening and talking to seasoned commissioners is one way to learn the job.
Now, how important is that networking aspect when speaking with other commissioners, learning from them? How crucial is that to growing as a commissioner?
I think it's extremely crucial. They really need to take and learn from others. And I mean, when I talk to new commissioners, I can tell them the good decisions that have been made and the mistakes that have been made along the way, and what they need to maybe watch the pitfalls.
I was going to say the mistakes almost seem just as important as the beneficial advice. Things to do, things not to do seem just as important.
Yes, they are.
Now, what's your own personal experience been with IAPD?
I've been on the IAPD board. I served as chairman of the board for 1 year. I'm still active on several IAPD committees, the accreditation committee, joint legislative, Friends of Illinois Parks, I mean, just to name a few of them.
All right, and what's that experience been like? What have you gotten out of being involved with all those different
Again,
groups?
I've gotten to meet a lot of people and interact with a lot of people, the directors, their staffs, and it's been a very good experience for me.
Now, how would you like to be remembered when someone looks back on your time at the Mundelein Park and Recreation District?
I want to be remembered as being a person that thought things out. I mean, I try not to shoot from the hip. And again, that maybe stems from my experience, my 29 years on the Mundelein Police Department. You have to assess things and then move on and move towards the goal.
Now, looking back on your service, what would you consider to be your major contribution to the field of Parks and Recreation?
Well, as far as development in Mundelein, we've purchased a lot of property. We've annexed some in different directions. As the village annexes parcels of property, we also annex them. We've constructed a golf course. We built a fitness center. We put in an aquatics park. It's been a good experience.
Now, what's the best advice you've ever received?
Best what?
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Probably to take it slow and listen and don't get ahead of yourself. And
are there any particular historical figures that inspire your work?
Not necessarily any historical figures, but Ted Flickinger was a good influence on me, and as has Peter Murphy been.
All right, and what advice would you give a 20-year-old?
I'm not sure what I'd tell a 20-year-old. 20-year-olds, I think, need to get a lot more experience before they become commissioners on a park district or a village board, and I think that they just need to get more life experiences before they jump in with both feet.
All right, now what do you see as the benefits of park and recreation services? Are there any examples of the service in your own district that you'd like to share?
And again, it's over the 28 years that I've been involved with the park district. It's been varied. I mean, we have all sorts of programs that are out there that are beneficial to the community, which is one of the things that, and our residents, which is one of the things that I think we need to always keep in mind. Just so happens that the Mundelein Park and Recreation District boundaries exceed that of the village of Mundelein, and we have to be able to balance everything with the community as well as the people in the unincorporated areas. All
right. If funds were unlimited, what would you like to see done for your park district?
Wow, that's a good question. We have parcels of land that we've recently purchased that we're developing into lacrosse fields. We have a football field that we developed for junior football. We've got a lot of parks, and if they were unconditional, unrestricted, and the sky's the limits. You could really have a lot of fun and do a great job. Unfortunately, they're not unrestricted and just there.
Now, what would you say your vision is for the future of parks and recreation in Illinois?
I think Illinois is a leader in parks and recreation throughout the country. The park districts that in Illinois that levy their own tax and administer their own monies, I think, have done a great job in developing services for the communities.
Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to sit and talk with me. It's been a pleasure, and enjoy the rest of the Soaring to New Heights Conference.
Okay, thank you.
This interview was part of the Illinois Association of Park Districts Legends video series. For more interviews, please visit us at our content-rich website at ilparks.org/legends. Also, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram for all the latest videos, resources, events, and more. Thank you so much for watching.